and gentlemen, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Now over to our right, you'll notice a conch shelf, and you'll notice that nice pretty pink color in the shell. That color goes all the way through the shell from birth.
那个1个多少钱？1块钱。
And the conch shell gets that nice pretty color from the mantle of the conch.
应该去买一个。
买。
It's also very rare that you'll find a pearl in the conch, which is called a conch pearl, and you'll find 1 in every 1,000 conch.
Wow.
Did anyone try the conch today?
Not yet.
No. So you don't know what you missed.
I had it already. It's good. I like
The
it.
conch is it's also an aphrodisiac.
Now everybody's gonna want one. I had the comforter, so I like that.
那个5
I can tell you when I was growing up, my grandfather used to eat a lot of it. He always used to send me to the marketplace to get him conch salad until finally one day he heard about Viagra. He said to me, grandson, go down to the local pharmacy and bring me back a pill. Back then it used to be the big blue ones. So I said to him when I came back, I said, Granddaddy, I know this is your first time trying this, so you should cut it in half. If nothing happens, then you can try a whole one. So he says, okay, and he cuts the pill in half and he swallows it and it got stuck in his throat. And you believe he had a stiff neck for a week? Over to our right, you'll find the Ford dealership. Now an F-150 that would cost you guys around $18,000 would cost us around $32,000.
Wow.
That's how the government makes their money now on import tax.
Import.
Vehicles of 4-cylinder and under carries an import tax of 65%. 6-cylinder and over
65.
85%.
Wow. 65% import tax.
65.
I did the bus service.
I don't know.
I had to drive that
哦，这个车子很贵啊。
for a long time.
Yes. 这里也没有最好的。
No property tax. No property tax.
Now to our left, the greenland trees are called the Brazilian pepper trees. Inside pepper tree that was imported to the island from Canada. It is an invasive species, so you'll notice a tree all around the island because the birds will eat the seeds and the tree will grow very easily. The building coming up to our left is the Central Police Station. Now we do not have any prisons here on this island, so if you get in problems with the law, you'll be sent to the capital, to Her Majesty's prison, all expense paid. To our right is the Justice Lavardi Building. The Justice Lavardi Building consists of the Supreme Court and the Magistrate Court. As we go around the circle, to our right, the tree in the middle of the circle is the national tree of the Bahamas, called the Lignum vitae, affectionately known as the tree of life. It is a slow-growing tree that was used in many different applications along with boat building. Now they never built the whole boat with it because the tree is so dense it would not even float in salt water. They just use it around the crop areas because it produces its own oil. They also use it in grandfather clocks and in submarines. To our right, the blue and white building is the National Insurance Building, which would be like your Social Security. The buildings to the left of us are most law offices, and to our right you'll notice the white building, which is RBC, Royal Bank of Canada. Although this island lies just 55 miles off the coast of West Palm Beach, Royal Bank of Canada was the first bank to make it to the Bahamas and celebrated over 100 years of serving the islands of the Bahamas. To our far right, the two-story yellow building is the Freeport Post Office. We do not get our mail delivered to our homes like you guys do. Over there has about 700 box, and we come there, we put in a key or a combination to retrieve our mail. The good thing about that is when you don't want no bills, you don't go to the post office. The big trees in the median are called Madeira bark trees and mahogany trees, and these trees have medicinal use. You can chip the bark of these trees and steep it in water or wine due to your preference, and it'll help straighten your back. The roots from these trees are used to make a drink called Campari. To our left is the public hospital called the Rand Memorial Hospital. The Rand Memorial Hospital was donated to the government by Dr. James Rand for $1. It was built in 1969 and 2 years later donated to the government. Also to our left is the Grand Bahama Power Company. As we leave the downtown area, we'll be heading now into the Port Lucayo Marketplace and Festival area where you guys will have some more shopping time. And if you want to, you can go over to the beach. And so I'll show you how to get to the beach absolutely free without having to pay a beach access fee.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
To our left, one of the oldest churches here in the islands, the oldest church in the city of Freeport, which is an Anglican church called Christ the King. Now you'll notice that we drive on the left-hand side of the street. The reason for that, the Bahamas was under the British before we went independent. The Bahamas went independent July 10, 1973. Since our independency, we're the smallest country that still holds dollar for dollar with the United States of America. So $1 US is equivalent to $1 Bahamian dollar. So whilst you're out and about shopping, you do not have to worry about converting, and everything is already pre-tax. So whatever price you see, usually is the price you'll pay, unless you're in the straw market negotiating with the straw vendors. And this area here we're going through is considered the ghetto.
Ghetto.
Now, the island of the Bahamas is made up of a material which is called limestone, and you'll notice it's stacked up all around your ship. That company is called Bahama Rock, which is an American company that does the dredging of the limestone. They blast the earth and the boulders. They export back to the United States for jetties and shorelines to give it a natural look. Everything else is run through a machine called a crusher that breaks the rock down into P-rock, three-quarter rock, fill and sand. The P-rock and three-quarter rock is exported for mixing with cement and for landscaping. The sand is exported for man-made beaches and for making glass. The fill is exported for foundation of homes. That company exports about $1 million a day worth of the limestone to the United States of America. To our left, you'll notice we do not have a dense forest. We have a lot of underbrush. And to the canines, which we call the bush doctors, we go in here and find a different bush medicine, like the five-finger, the Madeira bark, the noni fruit, the love wine, the melaleuca, the match me if you can, the bay the sage, the aloe, the fever grass, the sailor's cap, just to name a few. Now you'll also notice the orange vine growing all over the trees, and that vine is called love wine. And it's a tea you can make out of it, which is called love wine tea. Now we tell you while you're here in the islands of the Bahamas, if there's anyone that's falling out of love with you, just come pick some of this love wine, make them some love wine tea, and before you know it, you'll be back in business. Now we do have freedom of religion here in the islands of the Bahamas, and some of the religions you'll find is the Baptists, the Methodists, the Anglicans, the Presbyterians, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, Lutherans, Rastafarians, Bobo Shantis, just to name a few. Now, even though the highest natural point is 60 feet above sea level and on this island, and the highest natural point in the entire Bahamas is 206 feet above sea level, we do bury you 6 feet underground and also in tombs. And I can tell you, one of my best friends, her husband passed away and left her with $20,000 worth of life insurance. And after the memorial service, she was telling me that she's broke. And I asked her, how are you broke if your husband left you with $20,000 worth of life insurance? She said, I spent $5,000 on the memorial service and $15,000 on the stone. So I asked her, how big was the stone? She raised her hand and said, 3.5 carats. To our left is Rescue Mortuary and Crematorium, and as you guys know, you came as visitors. You do not want to pay them a visit and leave us free. To our right is two of our government primary schools. You'll find Freeport Primary and Walter Parker Primary School. All schools here in the islands of the Bahamas, public or private, they all have to wear uniform. And it is mandatory that you at least learn one trade before you graduate from high school. Now we take the same type of breaks as the U.S. schools. We take summer break, Christmas break, and Easter break, which you guys call spring break because you have religion out of the schools. We do go all the way up to the 12th grade. As we drive around, if you look at some of the license plates, you'll notice the bus has an orange license plate, the car has a blue. The orange plates are licensed under the Grand Bahama Port Authority and group of companies called the Oxford Creek Agreement, which was signed August 4, 1955, which allows these vehicles to come to the island without paying any import tax. Now, if they go outside of the city of Freeport and they do not have permissions from the customs department and they're caught, their vehicles would then be impounded and then they'll have to pay the duties to get their vehicles back. The national bird of the Bahamas is called the pink flamingo. You cannot capture the bird or eat its eggs anymore. If caught, you would be fined and can also be in prison. The national bird can be found on an island further south, which is called Inagua. The national fish is the blue marlin. You can still capture the fish, but you can only keep it if it's 400 pounds or over. If it's under 400 pounds, you have to release it back into the wild, even if it's going to die from the fight. To our right, you'll notice the etchings going all around the fence, and those are called matching if you can. Every single leaf is totally different from the other. There's no two leaves exactly alike.
Wow.
The area right now is called Lucaya. Now this area is named after the Lucayan Indians. Towards the eastern part of the island, you would find out there the Lucayan National Park and Gold Rock Beach. Gold Rock Beach did not get its name because gold was found there. It's because there's a rock that extends about a quarter mile offshore. Certain times of the day, the sun shining at the base of it gives it a golden reflection. Across the street, you would find two caves. The first cave is called Ben's Cave. Ben's Cave is one of the world's largest underwater surveyed cave systems to date. The other cave is the Lucayan Burial Mound Cave, where Lucayan Indian remains were found. October 12, 1492, Christopher Columbus, sailing with the Nina Pinta and the Santa Maria, charted his course off the Canary Islands in search of the New World. If he would have stayed on course, he would have landed on Grand Bahama Island or Abaco and would have claimed North America for the Spaniards. Instead, he ended up further south and landed on an island called Guanahani, which he renamed San Salvador, meaning a Holy Savior. He came in search of gold and precious stones, which the Bahamas have none of. He found the peaceful Lucayan Indians here and carried them to islands further south like Hispaniola and Cuba, but they all died out from overwork and diseases brought in from the old world like the smallpox within 10 years. After that, the Bahamas was abandoned for 100 years until the United States wanted to go independent. And the loyalists, the ones who were loyal to the crown, decided to move to the Bahamas because they were still under the British and also it was conducive to farming. You'll notice man-made canals. Right now, tide is still kind of low, but it looks like it's coming up. To the very far left, the tall building is the Grand Lucayo, which is actually designed like a cruise ship. The area we're in now is the Port Lucayo Marketplace and Festival area, and this is where you'll be doing your shopping experience, and we'll be out here for 1 hour.
1 hour.
Now you'll notice everyone walking past the green and white building, which is our very own police station. And to your right where the corner is, you'll notice a green fence. On the side of that fence is a little pathway to take you out to the beach absolutely free. Now if you guys decide to cross the hotel property to go to the beach, then the hotel charges you a beach access fee. The lower hotel is called Memories, which is an all-inclusive resort, which caters to the Canadian market. Between the two hotels, you'll notice the yellow building, which is Treasury Bay Casino. Before Treasury Bay moved in, it used to be called Island Creek Casino, which was the sister company out in New Orleans. Anyone who goes in the casino today, whatever you win, you have to split it 50-50 with your driver. All your losses you get to keep. Over to your right, you'll find all your wines and spirits, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, fine jewelry, and to the very far back, Count Basie Square, which is named after the famous jazz musician Count Basie. And we'll be out here for 1 hour. And the time now is 11:15. So we'll be leaving 12:15. Now today you're on bus number 58. Your driver name is?
Right.
Bryce is?
Nice.
I love it when a plan comes together. Now your landmarks today, just in case if you get lost, Domino's Pizza. So as you're walking around and you end up in the other side where it has a parking lot on the other side, you're looking for Domino's Pizza, and you notice the bench right here. What you do is you come back to the bench. The bus will be parked to your far right over by the yellow building. Do not come to the bus. The bus will come to you 5 to 10 minutes before departure time. So you come right here to the bench. After you find Domino's Pizza, come right to the bench. Once again, all your shopping is on this side of the street. Right across the street, you'll find the casino. Anyone who's going to the beach would walk up the street past the police station. Our departure time once again?
12:15.
12:15.
One hour.
去哪里？
让你逛街啊。
到底 shopping。